complainants that we have attached in your statement. Now, you have even went to an extent of attaching Facebook posts that were written by Patricia Mashale. Do you regard the allegations that were made by Patricia Mashale as damning? Were they damning?
First, I must correct that I only included those two. I did include that there are other people internal to National Political Killings Task Team. I did indicate that in my main submission, and that I even went on to suggest that they be called in themselves to speak. And I did engage the evidence leader, how it could be done and all of that. And therefore, they are included in the submission. It's not just Patricia Mashale.
Yeah, but I'm saying mainly the evidence of Patricia Mashale is dominating, for instance, the Facebook post and so on, and emails that were written by her to your office.
And then your question?
The question is, do you regard the allegations that she was making as damning?
Well, I regard that as something that can't be ignored. That's why I brought it. Not necessarily damning, especially because I did indicate that at some point I got worried about the frequency with which she was sending things about subs, and I went to the IGI to say, can you profile this lady to me, because I am looking at the frequency. I want to know who she is exactly and so on. So not necessarily all damning, not just damning, not damning in all respects. There are somewhere where you feel, yo, this matter, but in others it's a repeat of what you know and all of that.
Yeah,
Yes.
but the fact of the matter, are you done, Minister? Are you done? Are you done?
Yes.
But the fact of the matter is that when you were giving reasons here for the decision that you took on the 31st, you made mention of these reasons, of these complaints. So it means they influenced your decision in one way or the other. Is that correct?
Well, I'm not sure exactly when you talk about influence, because it could be misinterpreted, but I'm counting it as a factor. There was this, there was that, there was all these issues. To me, they gave a collective weight that caused me to write this. If you select one and as having this and that, it will be a problem, because immediately you discount all others. So I weighed all of them.
Yeah. No, I'm not discarding others, Minister. I'm saying
Okay.
they are part of the reasons that
Yes.
influenced your decision
Yes.
on the 31st of December.
Yes.
Now, don't you think you acted irrational by being influenced by decisions which you have never tested through subjecting them to an investigation?
No, all the time when there are matters like those, you need some form of investigation, or if not an investigation itself. Now, when I took the decision, I did indicate clearly, as I do now, that I was looking forward to more engagement through the preliminary report and through the meeting of UNESCO. That is where we're going to meet high level, all of us. And then I would have outlined all my concerns, including that one. And therefore, I'm responding in that particular way. That you in a way, the letter could be regarded as an invitation for a serious, substantial discussion internally. from me to the National Commissioner so that we discuss this. That's why I said it was not a fait accompli at all, but it was a decision. Like all other decisions in the world, not just in South Africa or in Parliament, when there are weighty matters coming your way after you've taken a decision, you review your decision. You can always review your decision if there are weighty matters coming your way. But what I did was to take a decision when I felt that the matters before me warrant a decision, and I did so.
So do you agree with me, Minister, that these allegations were never tested? You never even attempted to test them through a thorough investigation?
Not necessarily that way. Remember that a person like Patrice, De Haas also came to Parliament, and they were talking about things that you yourself would see in the department, and you would hear from other people talking from a different angle, but saying the same thing. And even though you may not necessarily call that an investigation, but you could see that other people are also concerned, or they are sharing the concern. So in as far as a shared concern is concerned on some matters, yes, even though they were not tested in an investigation, which I said, by the way, the form in which the inquiry, which I spoke about with a special advisor at the beginning of the year, was still in question. How would we do it? How do we craft it? Because we knew, even having taken the decision, we needed these other people to give them a platform where they would talk about the things they were saying to me, but in a platform created for that, while meeting their demands of safety and all of that and so on that they were counting. So while it is there was no rigorous testing, but it was not just a copycat of seeing a complaint, then you go and write a letter.
Yeah. When you disband the task team, you are reorganizing the police service. That is my understanding. You reorganize the police service, you consider priorities and needs that are prevalent at that time of your decision. Is that correct?
When I do what?
I'm saying when you disband the task team under normal circumstances, you disband it because you are prioritizing needs and priorities that are prevalent at that time. Do you agree with me?
Partly minding that there are task teams that would have been established by a district commissioner or a provincial commissioner or a national commissioner using powers of that they have. But in the form of the National Political Killings Task Team, it came into existence via an intervention of the president and directed to the IMC, and then it came into being. And if you did so, it's not entirely like an internal, like for instance, the task team of 2016 to 18. That one had nothing to do with any intervention from anywhere else. Those ones were internal. Even 2014 to 16, that task team was internal. But this one had a difference. So what you are narrating, yes, but it applies to ordinary task teams that would have been established, not this particular one, because this one came as a result of an intervention.
But this task team, Minister, was established in accordance with the needs of KZN.
Yes,
Because political killings were prevalent in KZN, were rife in KZN.
yes, but remember that those matters were, got elevated to the country as a whole, to the level of the country.
Yeah, but remember, we must not lose context. At the time when the decision was taken, there was a death of a comrade in KZN.
Yes,
And the president attended a funeral in KZN.
yes,
And then he made a commitment that he's going to intervene. Post that, he came to Parliament, he announced the establishment of the
Yes.
interministerial committee. So I'm saying the main reason for its formation was the political killings that were rife in KZN.
yes.
Yes.
To which the president decided to politically intervene.
Correct. And therefore, it was formed on the basis of the policing needs and priorities of KZN.
You could probably interpret it like that, but you are not talking about ordinary policing here because there was that kind of, I would say, development in the province where there was an increase in observed of this particular nature. It was not just one incident, it was a pattern, and therefore the president decided to intervene. It's important to factor that in, that there was a pattern that was discernible that caused the president to act.
Okay. Let me put this proposition to you, that the decision to disband falls within the ambits of Section 11, subsection 2 of the SAPS Act, which I've read. I can read it again for you, which provides that the National Commissioner has powers to organize and reorganize the service into various components, units, and groups. Now, the task team falls in a category of groups because it is not a unit. I think you gave a very eloquent explanation when you are making a difference between a unit and a task team. And therefore, this responsibility to disband does not fall within the powers of the minister. There is nowhere in the Constitution where you are given powers to either establish or disband a structure, because you don't have powers to control and manage the policy affairs or the policy services.
You would take care to note that when the National Commissioner exercises his powers, including that one, it is with due regard to the ministerial powers. I just want to put a comma there and go on to say, this task team, although it's a task team in the manner that would more or less be explained like that, this one didn't come just anyhow. The president intervened politically and caused certain matters to take a particular course via his decision. IMC, political task team, okay. Not via the exercise of normal powers that you are talking about, where the National Commissioner in his office would say, let me reorder, let me organize, let me control, let me change, It didn't come like that. It came via political intervention. Now the question is, or the issue is, if political interventions leads into what we ended up having in the manner that we had, what is wrong, either legally or otherwise, when the same political intervention